Hey everybody, Ron from CampFire Grub, and on this week's episode we are actually going to be out here in Ginnie Springs up in High Springs, Florida. As you can tell, this place is packed. We got us a nice little river site back here behind us, so that's pretty cool. We got the canoe, a little bit too cold for paddle boarding, so it's definitely going to be a canoe kind of weekend with these chilly temperatures. First thing you may notice is this canoe here that says Overland, Florida. I opted not to change the lettering on it or cover it up, so that way lots of people take pictures of it and then tag Kevin online and be like, you're spotted, you're back in a Tacoma, and they'll just think it's Kevin. Just discovered a new perk here of the off-season Ginnie Springs ghost town camping trip. The bathrooms, absolutely super clean. They don't look like they've been used. It almost looks like a brand new bathroom. Not nasty, dirty, dirt everywhere, screaming people. Even the dumpster doesn't even smell bad right now. So I don't know what happened in the world, but it feels like we're in a ghost town. It's almost like apocalyptic here. Like, it's windy. Like, the skies are kind of like dreary and overcast, and we haven't seen anybody at all. We checked in at the gatehouse. There was like 2 people working there. I was like, hey, is it really crowded today? And the guy said, I don't know, I just got here. And it's just empty. So it almost feels like we're just at like an abandoned summer camp. Like the volleyball court, the canoes, the kayaks, like it's this total like abandoned feeling of just nothingness here. So as we continue our ghost town journey here at the abandoned Ginnie Springs, we've got a sign that says dead end, and we've got this little trail here that says no motorized vehicle on trail. So we're gonna head down this sketchy little trail and see what it's all about. So this is definitely a creepy little trail here. You just kind of see the lights from the abandoned buildings up ahead, and then we're just following along here. The only wildlife we've encountered has been wild cats, and they don't want to be our friend. We just found a footbridge here that it looks like we can cross to maybe find some civilization. It looks pretty safe. Always send the other person first when there could be danger. As we continue along our venture here of the abandoned Ginnie Springs, there is actually lights underwater in the spring. Oh nope, that's actually a scuba diver. We found a person. So we are not the only ones here. As you can see by the eye shine, hopefully we've discovered some life. It appears to be another wild cat. So there is other life out here. So to keep this place even more eerie and creepy, I just fired up my old white gas lantern out here on the picnic table. So it's dinner time here at camp. We got the old lantern going. Over here we have some Clover Valley coconut fudge caramel cookies. Then over here we have some habanero creamy ranch chips with some palmetto cheese, chased down with some orange juice. Dinner time. The ghost town of Ginnie still continues. No signs of life, nobody around, still abandoned. But over here I've got the white gas stove burning with the kettle, and then we've got the pour over coffee maker over here with some espresso. Due to the need of everybody working from home now, and service at Ginnie Springs is pretty garbage, we've got the Starlink set up here running off the truck. There seems to be a squirrel friend now that seems to be fascinated by everything, so hopefully it doesn't eat the Starlink wire. But we got the Starlink all set up. Originally the plan was to Sorry about that. Originally the plan was to hook it up on the power on the bathroom, but we ended up just running it up off the truck. I really need to find a more suitable power solution for Starlink that doesn't involve plugging it into the truck. And again, it's still an absolute ghost town, so I probably could have just like hooked it up, mounted it on the roof of the bathroom, plugged it in, and probably no one would have stole it. I know it's a bit cold outside for this, but another great camping hack is just some pre-cold brewed coffee, espresso blend, unsweetened. A lot easier than trying to make up coffee all the time. I did have some hot coffee earlier, but now it's time for some cold brew. As you can tell, it's still a ghost town here. No humans. It's just a empty, desolate place. This place is so empty, we actually discovered deer prints. So deer are literally running around out here, it's so empty. Ghost town. So one cool thing about Ginnie being so empty is there's so many little kittens everywhere. One there, a bunch over there. The whole place is just full of little kittens. Come here, little kitty. Come here. But we got the canoe out here. We've got it tied up. How's the temperature? Freezing. Freezing cold. We've got a few spring people out here. And there was like a family loading up on a canoe to go out on the water. So we're gonna go ahead and get in the water and freeze to death and pretend it's the Titanic. So are you getting warmer? All right, go ahead, jump in. You got this. Leap. Leap. Paddling down the Santa Fe, we just pulled into a spring that's actually not part of Ginnie Springs. It's a little cutoff off the Santa Fe River, and it is dead quiet. Tons of fish, pretty blue water. So we just arrived here at the next little spring. Here, totally empty, desolate, not a soul in sight. Whole place to ourselves. Getting close to dark time, so that means dinner time. So tonight for dinner, we are whipping up some burgers on the little grill right out here, right on the water in the ghost town of Ginnie Springs. First things first, before we start dinner, we gotta go ahead and ignite up the sketchy white gas stove. So first thing we gotta do is we gotta pump it up, and we gotta pump it approximately 50 times. Stove's all pumped up. We gotta make sure the little lever is flipped up in the up position. Time to grab a safety lighter. And now we gotta just kind of light it up here. Hope for the best. Stove has been flipped down. We've got our griddle plate on here. It's actually a griddle lid from Griswold. First we're gonna take our potato piece here from potato cutting and just kind of give the pan a little wipe down first. Get some of the residual garbage off of it. Once that's completed, then we're gonna go ahead and take some spray oil, spray some spray oil on there, and dump the potatoes on. Over here, the burgers are cooking quite nicely. We've given them their initial flip, and they're cooking up with some Everglades seasoning. Potatoes have been soaking in a little bit of a water bath to kind of get some of these starches out. They're nice and soaked. It's time to throw them on the griddle plate. Shake off some of the excess water. And hopefully we can get them all on there. As it continues to get dark and the potatoes are cooking along, I feel like it's no better time to fire up our next death trap, which is this white gas lantern. So let's go ahead and fire this up. And just like every other annoying item here in the campsite, such as the stove, we have to go ahead and pump this up probably about 40 or 50 times until it's ready to go. All nice and pumped up, time to stick the lighter in the little hole here and turn it on and get it lit. And what camping trip would be complete without our little kitty friends that we found? Hello, little buddies. Hi. They're so cute. Look at how fluffy they are. Burgers are complete. We've got the burgers, cheese, palmetto cheese, and some fries. Also have our new little friends. Well, we just walked down to one of the springs here, and we're still the only people here. It's dead, it's empty. There's nothing but little fishes and stuff swimming around. And I mean, if there was any people, we definitely would have looked super creepy, because this is what we carried to light our way. As we continue our tour of the abandoned Ginnie Springs. Nothing around whatsoever. Spring's empty. I do not know what that sound was, but for the most part, it is just dead quiet.
It's fish.
It's fish jumping? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I guess there's fish leaping. And for all you YouTube haters out there that are like, oh, well, you're just out there at 2 a.m. That's the reason why it's empty. It's 7:35. I mean, this place is just eerie and empty. I mean, the volleyball court is just empty, not a soul in sight. And now it's time to just go walk down this creepy, eerie trail. But we got our trusty white gas lantern to lead the way. We're at the next spring here. And what's super creepy is like we really aren't seeing anybody other than the occasional like security that drives past on the golf cart, or the people that check the same empty trash cans over and over again. But there's wet coming up the staircase and out here, and it's not from us, like we're dry. So that's kind of spooky. And every spring we go to, we seem to find that. With how minimal people are around here, it's strange. Like, is there weird, like, ghosts coming up the staircase out of the water? And, remember, this is a dangerous cave. Divers have died here. Definitely a, kind of a sketchy place when you just look around at just the emptiness. And just, it kind of gives, like, a weird, spooky vibe this time of year here. Just left Ginnie Springs, and now we are paddling north. So let's see how it goes, and hopefully the weather holds up for us. As we continue our paddle journey here, we've just made it to Gilcrest Blue Spring State Park. Sorry if the camera's a bit shaky. I'm trying to like balance on a canoe and not fall in the water and all that other good fun stuff. Just arrived at Gilcrest Blue Springs. It's all blocked off, but you can kind of see the pretty blue water. There's a sign that indicates no walking, no motors. Nothing says anything about canoes, but how the state is, I'm just not trying to chance it today. So we're going to continue paddling up the river and see how much more that we can find. Next ghost town here, which is Rum Island Spring Park. Nice little spring head, turtles, nobody in sight whatsoever. Another abandoned location here along on our Saturday morning paddle. I made it back from canoeing up the river, so we made it actually all the way up past the state park to the county park. Pretty good little distance, got out, went swimming, all in the rain here. The temperature is only like 60 degrees or so with light rain, so it's not too bad. It's time for some Fireball and coffee. Well, it is now nightfall here at the empty Ginnie Springs. It's hard to tell, but it is pouring down rain. It calls for 100% chance of rain, light flood risk, but I mean, we're pretty high up above the river, so we should be good to go. Probably 20-mile-an-hour winds, but that's no big deal. Just a rainy, drippy time here. Starlink isn't getting much cell signal, or satellite signal anyway. The fire seems to be burning quite well. So there's that going on. And other than that, it's just a wet, dreary, drizzly time here this afternoon. Well, it's about time to call it quits for the night, and we have accepted the fact that everything is muddy. We are cold, we are wet, and all of our gear is mostly wet, but all the important stuff is dry. So we have that realization at this point. Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday morning. We weathered the storm. The water level has risen. So far for storm damage, the canoe fell over in the middle of the night. It was flipped upside down, but somehow it ended up like this. And it's completely full of water. So that's exciting. I don't know at what point the wind blew that over. The awning collapsed. That fell down in the middle of the night. We had some minimal stuff on the table, nothing too major that couldn't really get wet. Yeah, so that happened. This bowl is completely full of water. And other than that, not too much going on. Still nobody here. What's funny is the inland sites across from the river are completely flooded. So like those sites are completely flooded as compared to right by the water is not so flooded. Coming down to the boat ramp, the water appears like it's risen probably about a foot or two from where it was before, so not too much of a water gain. The current has picked up quite a bit though, probably from all the runoff coming down from the land. Also, a lesser known fact of Ginnie Springs is there's actually a beautiful laundry facility here. So you can get your laundry done. There's washers and dryers, and it's actually not as overpriced as you would think. Thank you everybody for watching. This is our final little bit here. We've got the breakfast cooking up. It's raining a bit. We relocated somewhere with some less wind. We got some sausage, some pancakes going, a fire log I left outside in the rain struggling along as it's still raining. And here you go, the abandoned Ginnie Springs.